Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. It's Sarah Wednesday.
Hello.
And it is a good day with you. I am here every single day of the year, and I have been for over 5 years. So every weekday, weekend, holiday, your birthday, my birthday, I am here to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have got epic troll slayers. Thank you. You have kept us safe for years. Yes. And we have got a fantastic community because you have been so kind to each other and so kind to us. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And if you are watching on replay, hello, you can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. Miss Sarah will be time stamping as we go.
Yes.
And other than that, you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can maybe watch it at a higher speed or whatever works for you. And I am just making sure I have pulled up the questions because sometimes in the middle of readings, I get lost. Like, wait, what am I reading on again? We have some absolutely, surprise, infuriating questions today. Yeah, flames. Yeah, but we'll get there. Now, the first thing, what a coincidence. On today's episode, what a coincidence. A Chinese company closely tied to TikTok just bought 300 million of Trump meme coin. What a coincidence. Trump's favorite TV host and major MAGA enthusiast Mark Levin has come out swinging against the president's latest moves regarding the jet. And this is the flames. You're going to need, seriously, where's your closest fire extinguisher? Just remind yourself where your closest fire extinguisher is. The New York Times handed over space on the editorial page to allow members of Trump's cabinet, Dr. Oz, RFK Jr., Brooke Rollins, Scott Turner, to pitch the idea that being booted off of any form of welfare is the opportunity of a lifetime. And this is why we go through News with Friends. That's what this is. This is News with Friends, because we should not have to we should not have to read about this stuff or find out about this stuff alone, because you're not alone. We are in this together. I know I say it at the end of every live stream, but you're not alone. And It can be so isolating. And they want us to be isolated and to feel helpless. Oh, yes. And it's like, no, forget it. Get stuffed. So
touch all the grass. Yes.
Touch all the grass. Yeah.
Nanny had a question real quick, but yes, that is a kitty with the teapot.
Yes. All the sweetness. So.
All right. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
And we couldn't just really make this up if we tried news. I mean, come on now. So here's the thing. A tiny TikTok creator company, they make the official TikTok company content. So if you've been scrolling the whole, hey, you've been scrolling for a while, they make all of that and some other stuff. The company has no revenue. So it's a tiny company with no revenue and ties to China, plans to buy 300 million in Trump's meme coin. The firm, which employs only 8 people to create official videos for TikTok, earned no revenue last year, yet somehow found a way to purchase as much as 300 million of, I think if you just spell it with the thing, it's Strump. I'm fine with that, of Strump. The dollar sign Trump, yeah. So how long before TikTok is no longer a security risk?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at this deal. Tishy J says no bribes there, I'm sure. Yeah.
None.
I'm not getting enough major arcana here to my liking. I wish I was getting more. Like, this is the kind of stuff that should get you impeached. Period. End of.
Yeah.
This should get you removed from office. Period. But quiet as a tomb. There's the US, the Empress, King of Pentacles, all dumpy with the people who set up his meme coin, because you know he didn't do it himself.
Mm-mm.
Five of Cups is, we are disappointed. Just a little.
Bigly, yes.
Yeah. Four of Swords, so yeah, it's going to his pockets. This is my Mar-a-Lago card. And the rest of us are on the outside looking at these deals like, we're out in the cold.
I'm still mad that we made Jimmy Carter sell his peanut farm.
Mm-hmm.
And yet this man has done. Minx in chat. Their kitty. I'm gonna let you finish what you're doing real quick. Before we go, well, in between questions. Sorry.
Vote for the love of all that is holy. Ace of Swords. There can be a new legal matter brought up, a new something brought up. That all of this, the ways he's blown through the emoluments clause of the Constitution. Want to tell me again, Republicans, how you just live and breathe the Constitution? Seven of Swords. There's a thief card. There's a Queen of Cups. This is a group of Democrats. That is, we will get justice when we vote for Democrats in big enough numbers. I really appreciate that people have differing views. I totally understand that. However, in this country, I've explained this before, but please hear me out. In this country, we don't actually have just two parties. We have two umbrellas. So while other countries vote for individual, to us would be sub-parties, and then form some kind of coalition, our coalitions are baked in.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So you have all of the Democrats from the more centrist to the farthest left, to with all of the Republicans under this umbrella, from the most centrist to the farthest right. And anytime that somebody tries to vote for a third party, all it does is damage the party that is mostly associated with them. I'm not saying this is the way it should be. I'm saying this is the way it is. And we are not yet at a point where we can pull enough numbers for a third party candidate. So please stop. Please vote for Democrats. Full stop. End of. Just vote for Democrats. Please, yes. So anyway, that's what it's going to take. And until then, we're just sitting here, and they are going to. This man is robbing us blind.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And all of his ilk will rob us blind until we as Democrats pull together and say no. And I would even argue, and I know some people won't want to hear this, but I would even argue that some people calling themselves independents are trying to do that third party thing. I'm not saying all independents do, because independents will tend to vote under one umbrella or the other. I'm not saying it's just inherently bad, but some independents are they're calling themselves Green Party or independent or you name it. Please stop voting for anyone who's not going to vote with Democrats 100% of the time. Please, please. That's all.
Real quick before we go to the next question, if we could just take a second to send a little bit of energy to Minx in chat. They yeah.
What happened?
Their baby went across the Rainbow Bridge today.
Oh, bless. Bless.
All right. Stars. Yeah, it's going to be hot. If you're in the South, it is going to be hot, hot, hot. Please stay hydrated. Please stay inside as much as possible. We're looking at 102 heat index here locally. So yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Gibson. Thank you. It really helps. Please vote Democrat. Yes. Yes.
All right. So here we go. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
11:30. Trump's favorite TV host and major MAGA enthusiast Mark Levin has come out swinging against the president's latest moves regarding the jet. Now, I want to preface this by saying Levin has a Fox show. I don't know if it's daily or weekly, but I do know that he also has a radio program that is super popular. It's like right at numbers, like right under Hannity popular. So, and he's usually played in the time slot like before or after. So it's like right there.
Question. So, isn't he the one who has that voice that can peel paint off the walls?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. So, but Mark Levin, who Trump has had at the White House several times, said Saudi Arabia played a significant role on the 9/11 slaughter of our people. I didn't hear their crown prince even apologize once yesterday for what they did to us. And I know the 9/11 families are reeling from this. He then went on to talk about how Qatar is a terrorist organization that hid bin Laden. I mean, he's not wrong.
Whew, and this is Mr. Ultra Right Wing.
Oh, so ultra. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So, is this indicative of more pushback to come from MAGA? Mainly people with MAGA influence, like over the masses. Because I personally, I'm in the South. I am one blue dot in a wash of, we've had this discussion. But I know a lot of people who listen to Mark every day. I've been stuck in a car with people listening to Mark every day. So, but people listen to what he says. Like they go, oh yeah, So yeah, is there more pushback to come, or is the grip lightening?
Okay, I'll have a look at that. By the way, I'm not going to call out anyone specific, but I just want to throw out there that I understand there's some people here who really don't like, say, centrist Democrats, but it's only with the centrist Democrats that we can keep human rights in this country. So they may not be to your, you may think they're too far to the right, but if it keeps women alive, if it keeps children with their parents, if it keeps all the true heinousness, then they're still your friends. Just saying. Yes, Chris Cool. Levine is very screamy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tam. All right. So can you hear that noise?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good.
While you're pulling that, I do want to add, there's a couple of people in chat that are having, Sebastian have any, we can't do anything about the billing in YouTube, but that is a YouTube thing, unfortunately. Now, if you're asking for a Venmo option to donate, we can look into that. I'll make a note to that.
Thank you. I think things might shift as the prices continue rising. Because even saying, oh, we're going to lower the tariffs with China down to 30%, that's still costing you. That's still going to cost you. That's a price rise of at least 30% on a lot of the stuff we buy. As this continues over the summer, and as soon as we get the big, beautiful, blankety blank budget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that the rumblings, the ground's going to get a little. Right now, the ultra rich and MAGA, they're waiting for their ship to come in. And those who believe the lies that Trump said about he's gonna bring the prices down on day one. He's going to stop the wars on day one. He's going to please. They're already on there's already very shaky economics going on. Here's disappointment. Well, they're supposed to knock down. It was supposed to be but I'm not supposed to lose my job. I voted for Trump. I'm against the woke stuff. So what do you mean I'm losing my job too? Yeah. What do you mean I can't I can't get food stamps? Mm-hmm. What do you mean I can't get unemployment?
When they really think there was going to be like a special MAGA window at all the social services, places where, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chariot. That's what makes me think it's the budget, because this is a big. I often think of the chariot as being like the biggest float at a parade. You can't miss it. It's a big procession. It's a big movement, and it's showy, which makes me think it's the budget. Because there's the Knight of Cups, people turning to Democrats, and the burden that MAGA is under because they're MAGA. So I'm thinking it's the budget. They're finally going to come out with the budget, and Democrats are going to have all kinds of things to talk about. And on the right, they'll be like, but he's promised. But he promised.
He told us he was not going to do that.
Exactly. I mean, I know there's some people who are ride or die. They'll never turn. But there are people who will. Mm-hmm. And even or just refuse to vote. People who are becoming disillusioned with him and saying he lied. We were supposed to get all this stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, take a second. Get your
breathing.
Get your fire extinguisher near. Okay, y'all.
Grab your fire. Don't do this. I'm joking. Grab your fire extinguisher like a fan, like you're a model. Cool yourself off. Don't do that. I'm kidding.
Please don't do that. Okay. At 1930. Yes, Louis, the New York Times.
Did I say the wrong thing?
Hmm?
Did I say the wrong thing?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
No. The New York Times handed over op-ed space to allow members of Trump's cabinet, Dr. Oz, RFK Jr., Brooke Rollins, Scott Turner, basically everybody over HUD and HHS and health and whatever, to pitch the idea that being booted off welfare is the quote-unquote opportunity of a lifetime. Too many able-bodied adults on welfare are not working at all, and too often we don't even ask them to. Your finest of pardons. There's a lot of enraging stuff in the article, but it then goes on to say, this is about opportunity. We believe that work is transformative for the individual who moves from welfare to employment. Pardon me, but no shiz, Sherlock, when you can. Nobody wants to be broke. Nobody just sits here and goes, you know what? I'm just nobody does that.
Right. Or if there are a handful of people here or there who are just like, you know what, I'm going to survive just on, the system, and they want to stay at that level of poverty because it's totally an unlivable amount. Completely unlivable. But the vast majority of people are just trying to better themselves, better their lives.
So the original question I put down is, why is the New York Times feeding into the Trump propaganda machine? But I don't know if you have a better question you would like to read on instead.
Oh, it's how much it's like I'm telling you, when we get the big beautiful blankety blank budget.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is hello. I pulled 3 cards with the card for the reading, and there are the flunkies at Mar-a-Lago, or the equivalent, and that's them. People who are having troubles, they're hemmed in, and they're being told they need to work. And then when it's pointed out reasons why they can't, good reasons why they can't, this is a refusal to listen. New York Times is always leaned to the right and saying that if any administration, members of any administration are willing to go to the New York Times, they'll publish it. The question is I'm afraid to ask if the worst of the cuts are going to happen, because I think the answer is yes. But will it happen? Because there are some Republicans, certainly those in purple states, who are saying, hang on. Tori says, I heard the debt limit will be raised to enact this budget. I believe so. Yeah. Of course, Mrs. People on welfare are required to work if not disabled, since Clinton can only collect for 5 years cash benefits. Yeah.
Well, they're talking any and all welfare programs, so including like Medicaid. So, yeah. Food stamps.
Queen of Pentacles. These people, as I've said in the past, if you'll excuse my expression, they need to remove their craniums from their hip bones. They are so privileged, and anybody who's not making all of this money obviously isn't trying. Not like you were born on third base and you are pretending that everybody can easily just waltz their way onto home plate. 10 of Cups, happy families, corruption. Page of Pentacles, these are weak policies and not much money. 8 of Wands, this is just one more example of Dumpy's cruelty, and Knight of Wands. So these people, it is their job to go out there and push this garbage. Which is, that's a very polite way of putting it. That was my intention. Rose Blue points out that Trump was a millionaire by the age of 3.
Yeah.
His father, it was for a tax dodge, but his father put more than $1 million in his name before he turned free.
Oh, wow. Kaludi, I have no way to make a payment on or enroll as a member. I'm seeing you as a member. Like, you're green, sweetheart. So you're a member of the channel. So, Goral brings up something that you and I were, okay, hang on. Moses said Wednesday it was none of his business that the president of the USA wanted to accept a $400 million plane as a gift from Qatar. Okay, so here's the thing. For some reason, I've got Salt and Pepper singing, none of your business. Okay, but, Ann Coulter, I think it was Ann Coulter, made a post about how, nobody threw a fit when Grover Cleveland accepted the Statue of Liberty from France. And somebody replied with like he took it with him when he left office.
Yeah, Statue of Liberty. Yeah, I'm gonna put that in my backyard. Just bring it over.
I put it in my pocket.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be. It's gonna go next to the garden gnomes. Just bring it. Just bring it over.
It's not the accepting of something from a foreign government to our government. That happens every presidency. But anything over a certain amount belongs to the government. It's not yours.
And they're lying.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, no, he's not going to take it home. Oh, it's not going to become part of the presidential library. And then all of this reporting says it is. All of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they just lie to your face. And that's one of the most disgusting things about these people. They will look you in the eye and lie to your face about important stuff. Not like
beyond gaslighting.
Yeah. Not like, hey, do you like my outfit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Moving on. I want you to feel good about yourself. And frankly, it's not that big a deal. So yes, right. I like that. It's making you happy. You're fabulous. No, this is important life and death stuff. And they just lie to your face.
What are you pulling on?
I thought I was pulling on the plane thing.
Okay.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
Sure. No, I just want to make sure. We're good. Okay, I just want to make sure that I've got it in the ring. Go ahead.
Judgment. Yeah, there's a whole lot of pushback from a whole lot of smart people. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. President, could you speak more into the armrest? Okay, thank you. Okay. That rivet right to your left, could you speak a little more so it okay.
Oh yeah.
People are sucking up to Trump as long as he's allowed to do it. They're not listening to emoluments, shemoluments. There's the Sun card. It's right out in the open. Page of Swords. Let's say a dubious legal basis. King of Cups. This is speaking out about it, but Lovers is until MAGA turns on him, until the Republicans turn on him. This this doesn't even register. This barely registers. It's infuriating.
Speaking of infuriating. Okay, sorry. It was the best seg I could find. Okay. So you remember the refugees? I think you talked about that yesterday.
From
the South African, yeah. The white South African refugees.
Oh, you would.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, since the Episcopal Church is not settling them, Trump is settling them. So they've moved to settle them in Idaho, which is a state known for its white supremacist movement. Now, any of you here from Idaho, we're not you. We know. The Idaho Statesman reports that at least 9 of the dozens of Afrikaners will be sent to Twin Falls after they claimed to face anti-white discrimination in South Africa. That's why they're refugees. Anti-white discrimination. They're anti-DEI people. And we were full. We can't have anybody else. But we'll take them. So, are they here to boost the numbers of the white supremacist movement in Idaho? Like, is that why they got moved there?
Rose Blue, thank you so much. Thank you. It really helps. It's really super bad when this Texan agrees with Cancun Cruz when he says it's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And look, I'm sure that you could find somebody like a teenager who is not racist,
right?
Who wants nothing to do with any of this garbage, and they're being brought here. And they shouldn't. I'm not saying these people don't deserve asylum. They don't deserve to come to the country, but they deserve it as much as everybody else does.
But they'll assimilate better. Borg people. Sorry.
What the heck?
Uh-huh.
There's not much here.
Okay.
Tick, tock, tick, tock. We're in the thick of this. This stretch of time between when the dumpster fire became president at the end of January to midterm elections. Unless something unusual happens, this is the worst of it. And we're just here. Page of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Bad policy. A lot of people need asylum. Ace of Cups, Four of Swords, Eight of Pentacles. A lot of people need help, and they shouldn't be getting special treatment, but they're working, and okay.
Yeah.
There's not much here.
Alrighty. You good?
Yeah. Yay. But I'm here with you.
Yes.
So we're here with you. We're here with you, and that's what makes this tolerable. This is why you should not venture into the news section alone.
This is correct. All right. Well, at 3410, Nettie had a question. Felon 47 is tried to take over the Library of Congress, and it didn't work out so great for him. They told his people to go pound sand, and didn't let them in. They're not letting in the people that he wants to appoint. So, how is he going to react to that public rejection? Somebody told him no.
He hasn't reacted yet?
No, he's been a little tied up because all this dropped right about the time of the plane. And he's been catching so much flack from the, trying to justify keeping the plane that he's not really worried about the Library of Congress at the moment. That's below his radar. But he won't let us sleep. He's going to circle around to it.
That's true. By the way, those of you who don't know, the big, beautiful plane from Qatar, $400 million. It's 10 years old. It's not even a new plane. And there are a lot of planes that are older. The planes can last a long time. They're incredibly well maintained, inspected, all this. But they're trying to bribe him with an old plane that apparently isn't that nice. Just saying. Anyway, but we're talking about the Library of Congress because he is a petulant fool. Tantrums. He throws tantrums. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
7 of Wands. On the defensive, Page of Cups. Those woke artists. Queen of Pentacles. The funding. Comes down to funding issues. 9 of Wands. You'll notice they haven't canceled everything to do the stage version of Atlas Shrugged. And 10 of Cups, which is you're only going to get people going to shows that have artistic merit. And there's one thing about fascists. They are incapable of artistic merit. They just are.
Mm-hmm.
It's all triumph of the will. It's just for decades and decades.
Mr. Dill, just circling back, it's not the fact that the folks from South Africa might not have been genuinely discriminated against. Like, they might have a legitimate claim to be refugees. It's the fact that those are now the only people that we're accepting. That's kind of like, really? So, like, no melanin? There was no melanin available anywhere at all? That's the issue. So, all right. At 3710, Goral has a question. The Trump administration announced it was pulling an additional $450 million in funding from Harvard this week after freezing $2.2 billion in grant funding last week. So what does the future of the school look like? Because Harvard, on top of just, law school or business school, like they're medical school. Like, they've got, they do a lot of research there. There's a lot of good things that come out of Harvard that benefit the world. So what does this look like for them?
Well, it doesn't help, but they also have money. Harvard has, is it endowments? What is their
endowments?
Like 500 million or something. I mean, it's a chunk of money, but this won't help. Will it do what Dumpy wants to happen to Harvard, which would be the end of Harvard? No. Queen of Cups, they were already in a position of power. 8 of Swords, okay, things are hemmed in for them. There's the World card. 3 of Wands, and a Thief card. This World card, Harvard is old.
Mm-hmm.
Harvard is very old.
They've seen the country, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. They've seen a few things. They've survived a few things. Rose Blue says this affects all university colleges across the country. Oh, yeah. No, I understand. But he's particularly going after Harvard. Why have I got the World card in the center again? It's kind of a battle. Back and forth, back and forth. Card down. Card down. Hold please. Just talk amongst yourselves. This is an indicator of what Trump thinks he can do. And yeah, he can do some damage to the system, but it's temporary. Could Harvard get set back with like a lot of other places from research? Yes. But all they have to do is survive to another administration.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's ideal. I'm just saying fruits of labor, it's already there.
Right.
So there are obnoxious actions by Trump, but there's temperance as well. Major arcana temperance. There's a thief card again. But Two of Cups. They have partnerships. Knight of Cups. Wait till other administrations. This isn't. Yeah, they can do damage, but I wouldn't worry about Harvard.
Okay. All right. At 41, even Nettie had another question.
Mm-hmm.
There was an agreement that Pete Hegseth signed at the table with Trump and the Prince while in Qatar, and it was supposed to be about strengthening the defense and diplomatic and trade ties with Qatar, but we don't really know what was in that. We were told it's about strengthening trade and defense. So, do the cards have any inclination as to sort of how bad is this agreement? What's up there?
I just want to say, Anne, it's not good. I didn't say it was good. What's happening to Harvard and the research and all of that. I'm not. It's awful. It's heinous. It's wrong. It's damaging. What I'm saying is Harvard will survive it in the same way we will survive a lot of this. It will be tough at times. It will be hard at times. It's just, we're in the thick of it. And I'll tell you, with what's coming this summer astrologically, who knows what's going to happen? There are massive changes astrologically coming this summer. So, okay, sorry. We were the agreement, Hog's Breath, signed while in Qatar. Well, then again, we know that they'll do stuff that isn't written down.
That part.
So it isn't necessarily what he signed, but what are the actual... Because I'm getting this Tower card again.
Yes.
For the reading. Not good. Knight of Swords, Magician, use of resources, Ace of Pentacles. Huge chunks of money. So legal, active legal, use of resources, huge money. Card for the reading's a Tower. Let me see if I can get any more information, because you can't believe these people if they tell you water is wet. Oh, Kaludi, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Justice. I don't see how some of this could end up in court, but I'm getting a lot of, this is justice. I'm getting a lot of feeling over the huge amount of money here. Seven of Swords, because it starts with a thief card. And everybody going along with it. And the weakness of MAGA. So it's not good.
Right.
But even if we find out what's in it, even if it was like, okay, it's not the worst of the worst, you don't know what they agreed to privately.
That part. Yeah. Well, here's a question that doesn't infuriate me. And that is no disrespect to anybody with the previous questions. We know the news. We're just saying here's something that's not as bad. So, Cindy has a question. Once the Trump regime is out of office, how will the Trump brand fare? Will other countries turn against the Trump brand? It's all said and done.
They're not going to forget this bullying, this authoritarian. It is forever linked to this stupidity and cruelty. People want to move on to a more reasonable, equal, decent way of living. The kids and what have you, they'll be painted with this brush. They're just kind of there. There's a lot of judgment, though. It's not good. There's a Tower card. Page of Wands. So, like, Sniffy Jr. And Dimwit. Not that Sniffy Jr. isn't a dimwit. But, yeah, this is them. Queen of Swords. There'd be some contracts in place, but...
Right.
And that's the other thing about authoritarians. When they're out of power, people don't follow it anymore. Because the people who are following in the first place, they so worship the cultish leader that when the cultish leader is gone,
yeah,
cults tend to unravel.
Very swiftly.
And I love how he just will not name Vance as his successor. He just won't. First he was point blank asked. So is like JD Vance, is he your successor? No. Trump just said no. And then more recently, someone was asking about who's your successor, and he said, someone like Rubio or Vance. In that order.
Lord help. Lord love a duck. Little Mark.
I love that, Mark. No chance, Vance. Yes.
All right. Well, here's one that'll make you smile. This morning, Eric Swalwell grilled Kristi Noem about whether Trump had lied when he claimed the MS-13 gang symbols were on on Garcia's hand. After Noem continued deflection, Swalwell had had enough. Madam Secretary, I have a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 3-year-old. The lawmaker shot back. I have a bull hockey detector. I'm just asking you, is this doctored or not doctored? And of course, Noem continued to deflect instead of admitting that Trump lied. And then Swalwell just at the end of it just said, okay, well, we lied. He lied then. We're just going with that. And moved on. So how much longer are these guys willing to sacrifice themselves for Trump? Because they're going to have no credibility. And Swalwell even pointed out there, he said, I want you to be able to have the credibility to do your job now and ongoing. So let's talk about it. Did he lie? No. But what is a lie? What is air? Are we really hung up on that photo? Yes, we are.
Does anybody really know what time it is?
Yeah.
Does anybody really care about time?
Yeah.
That you're not going to convince them otherwise.
Lordy help.
They are there because they are all in. His actual flunkies, they are all in. And they will do whatever it takes because they also don't think anything bad can happen to them. We know on our side what's important.
Mm-hmm.
We are on the right side of history. We know how important human rights are. We know what equality means. We know that everyone should get a fair shake.
Mm-hmm.
That some people not everybody is born on third base. Everybody's born at different parts. different
Some
places.
folks aren't even born on the field.
Exactly. Six of Pentacles, giving very little. Six of Pentacles should be a good card. It's a card of charity, but sometimes it's giving very little. It's a lack of charity. Three of Wands, waiting for their ship to come in, and they're the Lover's card. They're in the cult. We're over here.
Mm-hmm.
They're over there. And that's just how it is. And they are, at this point, they are willfully incapable of seeing reality. And that's what happens when you're in a cult. You cannot see reality, and they cannot, and you can't talk to them, and you can't. They are incapable of thinking about the future. Everything's going to be just like this forever. So, yeah.
Well, at 51:40, Cosmic Goat Lady had a question.
Mm-hmm.
We've discussed Trump's health before. Could it be he's physically? Some would say that he's physically showing signs of liver issues. The swelling of the gut that could also have something to do with the marks on his hands. Is that something that could be going on?
Well, if he is having some problems, it ends pretty well. Who was it? Oh, it was Rachel Maddow. The other night was talking about Trump's health and what he's taking, and there was a doctor who was looking at it and basically was pointing out that Trump was starting to get plaque building up around his heart.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's on aggressive, is it anti-lipids or I forget what
anticoagulants?
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's turned stuff around. Or it's turning stuff around through aggressive, like he hasn't done like the mildest dose of one thing. Apparently it's a lot. He doesn't want anybody else to have great health, but he has great health care.
The best our money can buy.
Exactly. He has. All right, I'm gonna tell you what I'm picking up.
Okay.
Knight of Pentacles. He's got to keep up the facade,
Mm-hmm.
and he has immense healthcare options. Queen of Swords. This feels like he's achy. It feels like
Mm-hmm.
a little cut here, not literal cut, but like that hurts and that kind of hurts and that kind of hurt. That's what that feels like. Six of Swords. It feels like his gut region is a little spongy. Ten of Pentacles. He's still the patriarch. It's still. Meh. One thing that was really interesting is Trump was recently talking about Ozempic. He called it something like the fat shot or something like that.
Oh, I think I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
And it was so bizarre.
The fat shot. Yeah.
It was so bizarre because he said, I was talking to a friend, and that always means he's lying. Because I was talking to a friend who was saying in the UK, they can get the fat shot for like $80 or whatever. And I said, it's not working. And, but then he went on to talk about how expensive it was here or something. And I was just listening to that thinking, that sounds exactly like the way he twists things. Like he was put on it,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't a magic bullet. and it's not working. Plus, there's no way that giant toddler was going to put up with that much discomfort and nausea. Right. They would have given him stuff to help him with that, but still. So that's exactly the kind of story he would tell. So he could complain about it without looking weak.
The friend. Yeah.
The friend. So Rita says his fat shot friend is supposedly Elon.
What are we looking at?
They're checking his health again. Well, fool. I really think he was lying. Funny, this medical care can help people. 8 of Cups, but walking away, other people don't have it. Hermit is just doing things in the back that you don't see. It's there's not much there. Anyway, Deb says, I think he was talking about himself. It sounded like he was talking about himself.
Yeah, Elon's going to have his own issues with all that ketamine, because ketamine shreds the lining of your bladder. Like, you lose your bladder.
Yikes.
It and then shrinks it to where it barely exists. So, and he's talking about, that's why it's only meant for, very short use. It's not meant for prolonged whatnot, like he's trying to use it for. So,
okay, well, I think I'm going to go find a vegetable.
Veggies are good. Let's go get some carrots.
I think I need to do a little grocery shopping, and I really was going to get a bunch of veggies, fruit and veggies, and I think that's where we're headed.
Drink your juice.
Drink your juice.
Get you some cranberry juice.
Something.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Sarah. Thank you for being here.
Oh, you're welcome.
I so look forward to when you're here. Oh. And thank you for joining us. Thank you. Please, please remember, you're not alone. Really, you're not. That we are in this together. There are good days ahead. It's just icky right now.
Yeah.
It's 1:02 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone here in Chicago, and then down in Louisiana. At 3, so 2 hours from now at 3 o'clock, Miss Sarah will be starting Creative Sprints. I will be along as soon as I can because it's Wednesday. And other than that, keep on keeping on. We're going to get through this. It's not fun. It's not easy, but you're not alone. Okay. So hang in there.
Yes.
All right. Be well. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll see you later. All right. Take care.